Hey, y'all. Here we go. Hello there, friends. Hello. As we are coming on, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you are here because today, increased enrollment, streamlined systems, and a less stressful season, it doesn't just happen magically, y'all. And let's face it, that probably seems like a total pipe dream that only happens when some fairy godmother magically comes down and waves her wand at other studio owners. But the truth is, it certainly hasn't happened to me, and it probably hasn't happened to you either. Because the truth is, there's no fairy dust that makes it happen overnight. What you do right now will decide how you start off next season. And I know we have competition season in full swing, recitals and showcases just around the corner. We're enrolling for summer camps that we have to fill, and we have a list of things that need to get done. And so it can be easy for us to set our priorities to the side for next season because we have to get done right now all of those other things. But in this week's episode, I will be sharing with you my top 3 tips for making time to plan, how and why it is vital to your success for next season. And so, if you want to get a copy of today's show notes, drop a blog below and we will be able to get you access to that as soon as those are available and ready in blog form. And so, if you're new here, I'm Erin Burd, and I support studio owners and educators who really want to grow their businesses by creating their own unique vision of success, all without the burnout, the overwhelm, or sacrificing their personal lives. Because the truth of the matter is that you can have it all. You just have to decide. And if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I want to know who is here with me so we can have a chat today about, oh my gosh, planning and getting ready for next season. So say hello. I want to know that you're here. And if there is somebody else that you know that needs to hear this conversation right now, that needs to join us, feel free to sprinkle the love. Sprinkle love. Okay, so if you want the show notes, drop the word blog below, and we will get those for you. Okay. So yes, if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I want to know that who is here while we're having this conversation. And today, I think it's super important for us to dive into this topic because so many times we get bogged down with the spring craziness, right? Of all of that competition season, right? We're in the throes of it. We've got recitals and showcases right around the corner. We're in like the trenches, y'all, with that. And then we've got summer camps to fill. And right? And so so because of that, we have to really be intentional. And so I wanted to talk about that today. Now, let me know in the comments below how many of you have your fall season schedule out for your families right now. Let me know in the comments below. Have you already released your fall schedule to your families? Let me know in the comments below. You could type a 1 for yes and a 2 for no, and a 3, I'm almost there. Ah! I want to know below, where are you at in being prepared for fall? Okay, so we've got to know, and that's okay. We're gonna work on that. Now, if you tell me no, you don't have it out yet, is there a time that you typically release it? So I have some clients who say, Erin, I normally actually don't release my fall calendar until recital. And if that's the case, I want to know that as well. But the idea is that we actually have our schedule prepared and ready to go, and we have a plan in place. So let's dive into today's topic because what we do right now actually will determine our success for the fall. And I want you to think about a plant, right? We have to plant the seeds and nurture the seeds for them to bloom. We don't plant a seed into the dirt and into the ground and into the soil, and it doesn't bloom the next day. It doesn't bloom overnight, right? We have to plan and we have to nurture, we have to prepare, right, those seeds to actually bloom and to blossom and to sprout. And so what we do right now, just like planting that seed, is going to dictate what grows in the fall. You feel me? All right. So if you have any, and I wanted to mention, you guys, if you have a nugget, if you have an aha, a takeaway, I want to know that as well. You could drop a hashtag nugget in the comments below and share that, because it does two things. Number one, it anchors in the idea for you. And number two, for anyone who comes back in on the replay, and we want to know that as well. So if you come back in on the replay, let us know. We want to know, and we can continue having the conversation. But it allows them to see, oh, this was really important and it resonated with someone else. And so that's a great thing. Okay, so I'm going to share this really quick on screen. So we have, we wait until after our competition team auditions, which are the end of May. Okay, totally makes sense, right? That is okay. Sometimes, you know, our fall schedules don't have to be out in February, right? But we do want to make sure that we have a plan in place and that there's a strategy behind it for releasing our fall calendars and schedules, right? So we want to make sure that we have all of that in place. But I wanted to talk to you about my top 3 tips for really making sure that right now in the now that you are planning for the future and that you are looking at a successful season ahead. And so the first thing that I can tell you about, you know, setting yourself up for success is to be intentional and time block for planning. So what I mean by that is this. I actually plan each quarter ahead of schedule, right? So right now it's May, which means we're in the second quarter of the year, right? Which means I'm planning for my third quarter. And my third quarter consists of what? June, July, August. And we have to plan the actions for the summer and our promotions and our marketing and being really intentional about what we're going to do over the summer that is going to reap the benefits for the third quarter. Oh, do you guys see that? And so we have to be intentional about blocking our time and actually getting on your calendar, writing it in, making in your, if you do it on Google Calendar, right? Creating a time and be intentional about setting aside time for planning. It has to be a top priority for y'all. And for some of you, I don't want you to feel personally attacked, but this is more important than adding extra rhinestones and on costumes. This is more important than being extra and having more props and more things for your recital. We have to keep our long game in sight, and we have to be intentional, and we have to plan for the future. So let me know. I want to know in the comments below, how many of you are planning right now on paper what you're going to do in summer to make sure that you have a successful fall? And it's okay if that's not where you're at. But what I would hope for you right now is that you make a commitment to yourself. And if you want to make a declaration to the world right here, I want to encourage you by looking at your calendar and saying, when can I set aside an hour or two to focus on my plans and implementation for summer and fall? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to list a date, that would make my heart even happier, because when we actually commit to something, we have to have a specific commitment. So we have to commit to a day, a time. So you could tell me, Erin, I'm committing right now to doing planning on March 14th at 9 a.m. We have to be intentional. We have to be specific when it comes to our goals and our commitments. Because if we say, oh, we'll get them done this month, that time never comes, y'all. If we're being honest, right? How many of you, let me know, this is a safe space, but how many of you have gone through and kept saying, oh, I need to do that. And then, but I need to do this, I need to add glitter first, or I need to add rhinestones first, or I got to get those pines, right? And there is something to be said about, we know we have to do the things that are coming up right away for us, but we also need to make the time to be intentional and plan for our future. Yes, 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 yes. Can I just cheer real quick? Woo! I'm going to show that here. Committing to planning on Wednesday, June 1st and completing it by June 4th. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Those sort of commitments are going to make the difference between whether you're setting yourself up for success or not. I love that you're playing full out. So let us know in the comments, what are you committing to? When will you be making the time? Because if you try to find the time, you will not find it. You have to make it. You have to be intentional, and you have to create space for it, and you have to commit to it. Yes? Okay. So time blocking, y'all. Make the time. Now, the second tip that I have for you guys is you need to audit. And what I mean by that is I really want you to take a step back and look at what it is that's been going well for you, and what is it that maybe could use some love and some tweaks and some reimagining, right? And take stock in that. And then once we know that, we could see where the gaps are. A lot of times we look at things in the whole, and that my studio isn't running the way that I want it to work, or my classes aren't running the way that I want them to work. Okay, well, what specifically? And this comes in through an audit, right? This comes in through an audit. And we have to really be objective when we're looking at our programming, when we're looking at our systems in our studio. We have to be objective about it. Sometimes it's hard because we can't see the forest for the trees when we're in it, but we have to be objective about the wins, what we're doing really great, and what can stay exactly the same and do more of, but also maybe what can need some love, right? And maybe you're feeling like your enrollment process is disjointed, and leads, trials are slipping through the cracks because you really haven't nailed down a really good trial conversion system. Maybe it's your recital system. You're like, I got everything up here and I haven't put anything down. And so I never know what to delegate because it's all up here. And then I could just do it easier myself. Let me know in the comments. Is that anybody below? Do you have things like just stored up here that you've been doing year after year after year? And so it makes it really hard to delegate because you're the only one who has it up in your brain. Let me know. Because I can tell you that that's the way it was for me for probably the first 2 years. Like, yeah, right? That's totally me. For the first 2 years, I created it. It was, I didn't have a huge team in the beginning. And so it was like, well, what's the point? It's just me and, or my right-hand gal, and I can just kind of walk her through it. And everything was at right 100%. It was just all up here. But then I started to get frustrated because things were growing, and which meant more work for me. And I didn't really know what to delegate because I felt like I had to do it all. And so I had to do an audit, and I had to say, Erin, what's going to make the biggest impact? What is it if I just focused on, which brings us to our next thing. If I just focus on one thing, I want you to pick one thing that you want to focus on improving that will make the biggest impact in your business. So, if you're feeling like a chicken with your head cut off at recital time, I wish there was like a chicken. There probably is. You could drop a chicken emoji in the comments below if that's you. If you're feeling like a chicken with your head cut off, running around during recital season because everything is up here and not laid out, I want to know, right? But pick your one thing. So if it is recital, that's a great place to start in creating a system, because if you don't have a system that's outside of your own brain, you cannot delegate well, right? You can delegate, but it's not going to be as successful as if you had an actual system written down in place. Because remember, people learn in different ways. And so pick one thing. Maybe your goal is to have your enrollment system and trial system be smoothless and seamless. But I want you to pick just one thing right now that you feel like you are struggling the most with, or you feel like could use the most improvement for next season. And I want you to put it in the comments below for me. Is it your enrollment process? Is it recital? Is it summer camps? Is it time management? Is it boundaries? There's so many different things, guys, that you could do right now and commit to right now to really set yourself up for success for next season. Enrollment process with automation. Yes! Okay. I know. And here's where I feel you. It's so hard to pick just one. And so what I will tell my clients is this. Because it can be hard to pick just one, maybe pick your top 3. But then we have to prioritize them, which again can feel really hard. But if you have 3 things you could do in one quarter, you could focus on. One month, you could do number 1. Tackle that. The second month, you could do the second thing. And the third month, you can do the 3 thing. You have to be super committed. But I always say just pick one, because here's the thing. Picking one and actually tackling it is going to move the needle forward than you trying to think of all the things that need to be worked on and then getting nowhere, right? Focus on at least one project. But if you're like, Erin, I can't just pick one, pick your top 3. No more than 3. Y'all, pick your one thing. Enrollment process. Oh, you just got kicked out of your studio space and our new place is a lot more rich, so I need more students. Okay. So right now, it is absolutely essential that we are setting yourself up for success and getting enrollment magic happening. But that doesn't just happen out of nowhere, right? We have to have systems and enrollment systems, marketing strategies, and a plan that is going to align with that for you to be able to make sure that you get more students, right? But it starts right now. Because if we're always in a state of like, oh my gosh, I need to do it right now, and you're like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, that is not a strategy that will be successful. We really need to know what the end goal is in mind and work backwards to create a plan that makes sense. Yeah? So if we pick just one thing, like your enrollment process, and you commit to, on this day, I'm going to really lay out my roadmap and my process and how I am going to get more students, and give yourself deadlines and commit to them, you will set yourself up for success. When you decide that success is the only possible outcome. But you also have to decide, how do you measure success? So right now in the comments below, I want to know if you tell me that enrollment processes, right, and enrolling new students is your one thing. How do you measure success? Is it when you enroll an additional 50 students, 100 students, 500 students? I need to know how you measure success, and you need to know how you measure success. Because if we don't attach a definite to it, what can happen is we might feel like it's never enough. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm going to start singing songs. Never. Thinking Greatest Showman. Oh my gosh. So I'm going on a tangent, y'all. But one, that can happen. And two, it makes it really easy to not achieve your goals, because you're like, well, I wanted to enroll more students. And I did. I enrolled 10 more students. That's good. But maybe in your heart, looking at being successful was enrolling 30 more students. So how are you measuring success? And if it's the process, the enrollment process that you want to refine and create a system for, how do you define success there? How do you have solid data to know that it's working, right? And so in the comments, let me know, how do you measure success? So if your goal is enrollment, right? What's the number attached to it? You need more students. How many more? To not just break even, to actually be profitable in a place that feels good. What does that look like for you? But we have to know how we measure success too, because what I may consider successful may be very different than somebody else, right? For me, I might say, well, success for me is enrolling 100 more students and only having to teach 1 day a week. That might be what success looks like for me. And being able to have dinner with my kiddos around the dinner table 4 nights a week, and then the other nights we're doing sports with them. That might be what is success for me. But it might not be how you measure success. And so it's really important that you define, how do you measure success? When can you have a huge celebration because you have hit those goals? But goals have to be specific, they have to be measurable, and they have to have a time frame attached to them. Yeah? So my hope is right now that you have committed to a day and a time for planning. You have picked your one thing, right? You've picked your one thing to focus on that you know is going to make the biggest impact for you for the fall. And our goal is to always be working ahead, and to be able to work ahead and to really plan for the future and not feel like you're always trying to catch up or you're always behind. We have to be intentional in our time blocking and setting aside Can I rewind that and try again? Setting time. I'm going to take a drink of water because I really think that I need it right now. Y'all. Okay. Setting time aside every quarter to plan for the next quarter. And now I am all about like yearly planning and knowing what's happening in your studio and certain events and yada, yada, yada for the whole year because I'm a planner and I think you should be too, and your families will appreciate it. But then each quarter we dive into the nitty-gritty of what it is that we're going to do to execute and achieve those goals for that quarter. And I also like with my clients to pick like one overarching project for that quarter for them to work on, and that's their focus, in addition to all their normal other daily things of classes and lesson plans and tuition statements and like all those other things. If we're intentional about even focusing on one project like enrollment system or recital system or a community service project each quarter, at the end of the year, you would have completed 4 major projects, and you should be doing a happy dance because you're moving the needle forward in your business, and you're planning ahead, and you're being proactive instead of reactive. And so if you're joining us a little late, that is okay. I want to go back real quick. I'll go back and I'll do just what I like to call our speedy recap, right? So your success for your next season, it really starts right now. We don't plant a seed and expect it to blossom, grow overnight. And so the 3 tips that I'm sharing with you today about planning and getting ready for success is this. Number 1, you have to be intentional. You have to time block for planning. If you do not do that, you will never find the time. You actually have to create the time. The second thing is we actually have to do an audit, and we have to look and see what's working in our studio, what's not working in our studio, and could use some love, and what is going to help me refine processes, what's going to release some of the overwhelm and the stress, right? What are the things that we can tweak that will make my life easier, y'all? Because the truth of the matter is simple is sustainable. But if we overcomplicate things, if we try to do everything on our own, we will fall into overwhelm, we will fall into burnout, and that is not a place that I want you to be, and I'm sure that you don't want to be either. And then once you've done your audit, I want you to pick just one thing to really focus on that will move the needle forward, that will accelerate your studio growth or accelerate your joy, accelerate your impact, right? And will allow that seed that you're planting right now to blossom and bear fruit for you in the fall. Because what I know is if we're always being reactive, if we're always like, fall's here and now I need more students, we've missed the boat. We're not planning for success. We're being reactive instead of proactive. And success lies when we're being proactive, when we're being intentional, when we are thinking through our plan and we actually have a plan and we can actually execute that plan and see the fruits of that seed that we planted come to life. Which is why I want to tell you guys, I've had so many people talk to me about, I'm not sure how to even create systems and how do I get it out of my head, or I don't have the time to get it all out of my head and teach somebody else. Anyone guilty of that statement or that thought right there? Drop it in the comments below. I want to know, have you ever had the thought of, I know I need to create a system, but I don't have time to create a system, or I don't even know how to get started on creating a system, let me know. It's a real thought, and I've had it. I'm not judging. But let me know in the comments below. I want to know if you've ever had that thought come up to you, because this is why I've had so many. This is a place where a lot of studio yes, right? Totally sounds like it was me. And I know that I am not the only person who has ever thought that, right? And so when I start working with studio owners, this is something that comes up. They know they need more systems in place. They don't know where to start. And so I decided that I wanted to share with y'all. I am going to be offering this month for free our workshop on creating simple and sustainable systems in your studio. And so if you would like to join us for that, drop a systems below and we will get you all the details on that. It is completely free. It's totally laid back training, but it's something that I think that we really need to talk about because it will make your life easier. Oh my gosh. Okay, can I just share this right now? Because it's totally relatable. I find excuses. 3 kids under 5 and trying to do it all. The studio on top of being a mom and a wife. Yes, right? We are all like juggling all the balls and trying to figure it out. And it's so easy to find an excuse because there's always going to be something else. So yes, if you want more information on that free training that we are going to be holding, drop the word systems below and I will shoot you a private message and get you all the details. It's going to be coming up. It's going to be super laid back. And I'm finding that a lot of my clients are really, and our community is really enjoying the format for this new trainings that we're doing every single month. And so this month, it's all on creating simple and sustainable systems in your business that will actually create more free time for you. And how to do it with actually taking up more time. Oh, shocker, right? And so if you want more information on that, drop a systems below and me and my team will shoot you a message. And we're getting all those details together, but that's the topic for this month. And I would love for you to join us because here's the thing. When you are a business owner, a mama, a wife, a caretaker, a friend, a daughter, we all have so many commitments and we have so many things on our plate. And it could be really easy to find excuses or find reasons why, I just don't have time to do that right now, because we tell ourselves that it's going to be this big ordeal to create these systems. But in this training, I'm going to show you my secret ninja tips that make it not a big ordeal and actually allow you to do it, refine it, and then maybe you take that system and you start to delegate. And instead of you doing everything, maybe you only do 50% or 40% or 30% or 20%. Or oh my gosh, you can totally delegate a whole system to somebody else. And then you've completely removed that off of your calendar and freed up more time for the things that you love. Like going in, like today, I get to go and watch my daughter at her badminton match, right? That's a priority for me. But I can do that because I have created systems and I've handed them off to my team and I've delegated things. Because the truth is I can't do it alone and do it all. Because if I tried to do it, I would be overwhelmed and burned out for all the different things that I do. So this is why systems are so important and how they can actually help you be prepared for the fall. You guys, the truth is everything is cyclical. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We know that certain things are happening at certain times in our studio every year, like clockwork. So why not create systems around them? Yeah, to make your life easier. And when it is time, you can delegate either part of them or all of a project to somebody. Wouldn't that be amazing? And what would you do with your free time? Right? Me, it's doing more things that I love. Who would travel more? Me, this girl. And you guys know the offer always stands. If you want to travel and you need a partner and a buddy, travel buddy, you let me know. Because have passport, will travel. Love it. So anybody else travel crazy? Drop it in the comments below. I just want to know who my people are. Who else wants to travel more? So let me know below. I hope that you are planning for the fall. And if you're not and you need more support, of course, let me know. But I cannot wait to see you all at the training for simple and sustainable systems, right? I'm going to drop some really huge nuggets and some super ninja tricks, right? Some super ninja tricks that will help you create more systems easily. Okay, so that's the difference, right? There is a difference between traveling for work, right? So if you're a competition judge and you're traveling for work, you're just traveling to work. You're not traveling for your own enjoyment necessarily, right? So, but if we're being honest, I'll travel for both. I will travel for work, which I love to do, and I love to tie in. I love to absolutely tie in business with pleasure, right? Y'all know, last November, October, last October, I traveled to Orlando for work, right? And then I just extended the trip and my family met me and we went to Disney World and we went to Universal Orlando and we were there for an extra 10 days and had a swimming time, right? I love to do both and to tie my life into both places. So, yes. So, my friends, if you're just now joining them, y'all know me. I'm Erin, and I love working with our community here. It brings me so much joy, and which brings me to this. I love being here every Wednesday with you. And each Wednesday, my hope is to bring you more joy, to share with you some business strategy and tips and tricks, maybe a little bit of mindset sometimes, and for us to just spend this time pouring into being better than we were the day before. And sometimes that comes in the form of just being and showing up together and really soaking in what everyone has to say and being a collective. And so I absolutely enjoy my time here. So until next Wednesday, oh my gosh, next Wednesday, y'all, I'm having a guest and it's all about a topic that has been coming up very frequently lately, especially with my private coaching clients. So it might be one that you want to tune in for. So keep an eye out for that. But until next Wednesday, I hope that you have so many beautiful blessings this week. Stand for joy and really just go out there and rock it and commit to your planning, right? And let me know. I will come back in here and jump in. And this way I can cheer you along when you reach those goals. So I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic week, my friends, and I will see you next Wednesday. And if you drop systems below, keep an eye out for your messenger because I will be sending you details about that training that will be coming up later this month. So I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic day, my friends. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.